Hello, good people of the internet. You join me for phase 2 of the Orion diary, or my Orion journey at least. And what happens next? Well, let's go back to the beginning. Phase 1, we did the underside, we did the braking system, we did the wheels, we did the fuel tank, fuel pipes, and so on. Now, phase 2 is going to be the engine, and so what I did was go and get an engine, basically. I woke up early one morning, went over to Chelmsford, and with the help of Mark, Grant, Matt, managed to pull the engine out of a Focus ST170, which now resides here. Right here, in fact. Now, I haven't done much with this, really. Just take it home, offloaded it out of the back of the van with the help of my dad, and here it is, ratchet strapped to a pallet underneath well, it's an old curtain actually, but dust sheet, ready to be stripped down. This bit here, this casing is going to be modified so that it can fit. This pulley's going, water pump will remain there, that pulley's going, that bracketry's going, breather system will be going. And apart from that, I'm trying to keep it looking as relatively standard as possible. So we're going to keep the plastic covers. If I can, I'm going to keep these plastic covers. This, as I say, will be machined down at the side here. It says pointing. And yeah, it's going to be completely stripped down and cleaned up. I've started collecting bits already. Now this is an original air filter, actually there's a pair of them. They were £1.60 each on eBay. Because I bought this. Now this is a Orion diesel, or Escort diesel airbox from a 1.8. That's something I've been after for a while. Now this fits to the inner wing via these studs, one of, or two of these which are broken off, but not a problem. I shall be sorting that out. And has the air intake on one side and an intake that goes behind the headlamp there. Now, I want this because I want the car to look as standard as possible, and with this in place I think it should look relatively factory if I can get the hoses to work. I also need to fit this, which is of course the MAF. Now that doesn't quite fit on the end of that intake hole there, so I'm going to need to work something out, or otherwise find a way to make that mount into the hose. But you can see the sensor inside here, and without this the car won't run properly. I've also bought some goodies. So this from DA Performance is what the kids would call these days a delete kit for the power steering pump. That sits at the top and reverses the direction of the water pump critically. And this is a new engine mount, which has been beautifully made, has to be said, folded, welded, etc. These weren't available when I put the engine in the car the last time round, so quite nice that you can buy something off the shelf. Not massively expensive either. I think it's about 55 quid, something similar to that. I think the other mount's about 45. I've got a new pulley, a new belt as well. Not particularly exciting, but you get the picture. I did have a bit of a brainwave. Now this is an original pipe from the ST170, and this is the MAF. Now the original airbox here has a big old hole the MAF bolts into, as you can see here. And that is because there is a massive flange on here, but this is made of plastic. I'm thinking if I can take this back inside, so just pop this rubber seal out and cut that off there. I could, and imagine this is the other way around because the pipe is effectively the same size either end, minus this flange. That would fit inside there. So you have to work with me on this one. You can see where the pipe's going to go through here, through the MAF, and then onto the back of the engine. I think that's got potential, but I just need to unbolt the MAF sensor and then start trimming this up. So I'll trim the edge off of this, trim this clip off of here, so you can bring the hose right up to the edge and then put a hose clamp on it. I think that'll do the trick. Then obviously bearing in mind it'll be the other way around. Yeah, I think that'll go in enough, yeah, to be nice and secure. And there we go, there's an idea. Oh, dropping it all now. Such is the miracle of time passing in any video that I actually got bored mid-conversation earlier on and wandered off, and you never know. So incredibly rude of me. I don't normally get bored talking to you, but here we go. Anyway, I decided to take the cover off the side of the cam belt, which is there, and I've taken the bolts out for this and I need to make this loose. Now, you can buy these already trimmed back. They call them a lightweight cover, which is hilarious really, because it just trims it back to the webbing inside effectively. Just gets this section machined off. And I'm looking at how I can do this at home. Now, I imagine there's a number of ways, and I've contacted my engineer dad, who says, yes, I think this is entirely possible. I'm not quite sure. He will probably take it from me, and he will do it himself, I should think, and then return it to me with any luck, because he's incredibly good at doing stuff like that and very kind. But if not, then potentially I could put this onto a base with a pillar drill these sections out, maybe take this section flat behind. I can be relatively precise with that, believe it or not, but there we go. These are a good old clean up. But certainly something else I could do is start to give this a tap with a mallet. And then I thought, no, I can't put enough behind it to make sure it's free. I think it's completely unbolted. I will check. But it's quite late at night now, as is always my way. It's about midnight tonight, so it's time probably to knock it on the head now, I would say, once I've made sure that all the exhaust ports are filled up, so that nothing can get in there, or taped over at least. And I guess that's it. So all that remains is to say thank you to Matt, to Mark, to Grant, for helping pull the engine out of the ST170, to my dad for helping pull it out of the van and get it into the garage, and to say don't forget to like and subscribe to see what happens next. Oh, I did nearly forget. Of course, I have managed to get the car outside in the daylight now, and I did manage to get a few pictures, so I'm pleased to share those with you now. I've had to move the vehicle. It does, how should I say this, the steering, etc. is not quite right. The steering's out by about 12 degrees or something similar, and it's a bit all over the show, so it definitely needs some alignment, but it's nice to have it outside and in the open again, ready to be pulled apart. That's it for this time. Look forward to seeing you next time for more. Good night.